This episode is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about the Anchor app, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. For starters, it's completely free of charge. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more major podcasting services automatically. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. So go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Hello, welcome back to episode 11 of Gunner and the Devil. A very
football podcast. Yes.
Football podcast based on everything Arsenal and Manchester United, and it's going to be a fiery one today. How you doing, Robin? You good?
Feeling fantastic, fresh off the bat.
You must be feeling fantastic, and yet another instant reaction to yet another United Liverpool game.
As we said
this game was much
as we
better.
said, talked about in episode 10. This is going to be another instant reaction, just like last week's Liverpool and Man United. But so what you're going to get is literally the raw. My reaction.
The raw reaction, literally 5 minutes ago, just like last week.
Yeah, the match literally finished 4 or 5 minutes ago. Literally.
Yeah, but what's your take on it? I do immediately say that this game was like a million times better than the last game in terms of last week's league fixture, in terms of entertainment and everything. What's 100%. Your take on it? You must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, so what a game it was. I mean, the last week's was a 0-0. Was a bit of a. It wasn't the worst games I watched. I mean, the Man City United game was probably the worst 0-0 I watched this season in relation to United. Yeah. But today's game was so much better. Like both
polar
teams,
opposite, wasn't it?
Yeah, both teams, as expected. Liverpool had loads of the possession. Both teams went for it pretty much. What confused the hell out of me is the arrogance of Mr. Klopp, right? The arrogance of the Dutch Steve Bruce, or was it German Steve Bruce? He knows we're a counter-attacking team. Yeah, he persists of pushing us right up top of the field and expecting to get a goal. And as I was watching the game, I felt that yes, they were pushing us a lot as normal, but they never really dominated anything. Right, I think they pushed us a lot, but we were always, as soon as we won the ball back, it was 2-3 passes, and we were pretty much in their half, running at them. But overall, the game, I was a little bit skeptical because Liverpool obviously have this competition to restore some pride, and I was a bit like thinking we might need to rest a lot of our players over on the weekday and play at full strength. Today,
that's what you say. You actually turned a bit opposite because you got Bruno and immediately.
It was the opposite actually. On the weekday we played which I'll do the review straight after. We played our strongest team possible, including Bruno Fernandes. And today we played. Surprisingly, we played Donny van de Beek.
I was surprised about that, but I think he played okay. I think
he played decent. I think in the second half he fizzled out. In relation to the goals, obviously Luke Shaw had a fantastic game against Salah last weekend. But this weekend he had a very good game as well. He was everywhere in the first half.
I was going to say, again, he's kept it up.
He's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Salah managed to get 2 goals past us. But we've seen glimpses of what Liverpool are capable of. The intricate play, the fast-moving play up front. However, ultimately, Bruno Fernandes' winner absolutely destroyed Liverpool.
Beautiful free kick. I had a good feeling. As soon as I saw the free kick just outside the box, Bruno put that away.
I thought it was too close, and I thought, Bruno Fernandes has a habit of trying to get it over the wall. I thought he was too close for that, and he's going to go over the bar. But bang, looking at his press conference, which he's literally done now, 10 seconds ago, literally. They asked about his free kick, and he said that Cavani told him to hit it low.
So
good advice from Edison Cavani.
Good partnership.
Big shout out to Mason Greenwood. I'm just gonna lay out the ball right now. My player of the week, despite him not playing the last game he played today.
He's gonna say it now. Straight.
Yeah. Get out of the way. While it's still fresh in my head, him gonna be my player of the week because obviously he's going through a lot, losing his best friend, depression, and everything. To come out today and to score a goal and then make a goal. Was absolutely brilliant. I thought the pass from Rashford over the top for me.
Oh, you think about Mason Greenwood?
Yeah, Mason Greenwood. Yeah.
Oh, he lost his best friend. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's going through depression. He even done a post, I believe, on Twitter or on Instagram about a couple of months ago. And obviously all the shenanigans that's happened for England, and the press being after him.
He's
So
been
I reckon,
through a lot considering he's young. So condolences to him on losing his friend. But he's
yeah,
he's made up with a good
he's
performance.
still young. He's like 18, and
Very young.
the fact
he's your
that
Martinelli, isn't he? So
the fact that he made the difference today. Yes, we're talking about Bruno Fernandes's goal. It's fantastic, but he made one goal and assisted one goal despite not being in the best of conditions mentally.
Yeah, and starting the game, he's arguably your best player on the pitch. And
and you look at the midweek victory we had against Fulham. When Pogba scored, he'd even celebrate Mason Greenwood because he's not in the right state of mind. But looking at today's game. It was a good game to watch. Yes, we were expected to concede goals at some point, I guess, because this is not the Premier League. Form goes out the window. I was expecting a few goals. I did expect us to win 2-0 in my prediction.
Did you? You remember you said that last episode. You said Liverpool you expect to be hurting after drawing with you in the league, and thinking they'll come out fighting. They did at the start. Salah with a good chip.
As expected, Liverpool pushed high. They had good control on the ball. There were patches in the game around this 60th minute mark. I felt they're going to score another goal because they were so dominant. But then it was just patches in the game. I don't feel that they dominated the whole game as overall, even if they had a lot of the ball. Because they're a possession-based team more than us. We're not a possession-based team. And we just counter-attacked. Every time we went in their half, we looked more dangerous. And it was a fantastic result. FA Cup out of the way. We got West Ham coming up, I believe, in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. That's on the next round,
Liverpool have never crossed the 5th round of the FA Cup. So they've went out in the 4th round of the FA Cup on each of the last 6 years, I believe.
Oh, wow. They are not an FA Cup team at all.
Yeah, last year they went out in the 5th round. So they're not... FA Cup is just not for everyone, I guess.
I guess Klopp just doesn't prioritise it. He just respects it a lot.
That's my review on Man United versus Liverpool. I think...
player of the game, did you say Greenwood?
My player of the game and the week, despite what he's...
player of the week.
Again, I'll go to the Fulham game before we come to the Arsenal stuff. Because of what... it could have been easily Pogba for me. Pogba was brilliant last.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like Pogba, I remember a couple of episodes ago you were saying he's got no legacy to leave behind, but now he's stepping up and scoring winning goals.
It could have easily been, but there are certain things in football you cannot control, and mental health is one of them.
So mad props to Greenwood.
Playing in a knockout competition against Liverpool and to score a goal and assist a goal, I think for me he's the player of the week. Luke Shaw was fantastic. Paul Pogba was fantastic. Edison Cavani, I always said I love him up front. He needs to be a number 9. He was brilliant. Despite him giving away the ball for their second goal, he was brilliant throughout the whole game.
There's probably a couple of close seconds for you in terms of getting a player of the week, but Greenwood has to take it,
and he hit the post right at the end. I think on there's like 3 minutes.
Cavani should have got a 4th. I saw that. That should have been a 4th.
Hit the post. But with Cavani, the thing I see about him is the winning mentality. He's screaming and shouting at the strikers, Rashford and Mason.
Yeah, he was like giving instructions to Rashford.
Which is nice to see the leadership qualities.
He's got the leadership quality, and he's a veteran like coaching.
And at the end of the day, most of our squad, they're young players. Like Mason Greenwood is 18, Rashford is 23.
Yeah, similar to us. We've got like a mixture of youth and experience like you guys.
And Aaron Wan-Bissaka's 22 as well. So I think it's important that they get a bit of direction, whether it's done on the field or off the field. But players of the caliber of, say, Bruno Fernandes and Edison Cavani, they are the most experienced players in the squad, along with Nemanja Matic. And Mata is being there as well, but Mata doesn't play that much. But overall, super happy with the 3-2 win. It's nice. I'm gonna update. I literally, this is an instant match reaction. I didn't even
you heard it here first on this
or Facebook or anything. It's just straight into the podcast.
It's nice to hear a raw from you, mate. But I just want to say, last week was goalless galore. This week is goals galore for you guys.
Goals galore. It was actually for I reckon for neutrals, I think it was a good game.
I enjoyed it as a neutral watching. Obviously, I didn't want to see you guys win.
It wasn't a case of United were 3-1 up, which would have made it one-sided. It was like 1-0, then 1-1, then 2.
It was like it was 2-2, fighting, then 3-2. Both teams bouncing back at each other.
So it was nice to see. I was in the edge of my seat several times. I was 100%. More nervous, to be frank, of the Premier League game than today's game, despite the fact that we won today. Because I did say that I'd rather prioritize the Premier League than the FA Cup.
Speaking of Premier League, I will preview, but the big one is back again between me and you. Arsenal v United next weekend.
Yes,
Absolutely
yes.
massive. We need to preview that in this episode.
I think we're playing on the Saturday. So today's show we're going to be previewing
Yeah,
it,
we'll have a lot of previewing that. Yeah.
which will come on our next segment after we review the matches. That's why I said let's get through a lot to talk about.
Swiftly, there's lots of
because we got big news on Martin Odegaard.
Don't spoil it yet.
Spoilers.
I wanted to announce it, but yeah, we'll get on to it. There's a lot to talk about.
I'm just going to touch quickly on the Fulham game midweek.
Yeah, you go ahead.
This looked like a very long time away, but midweek we beat Fulham 2-1. Tough game. I got it totally wrong. I thought that Fulham would sit back and we're going to attack them, blah blah blah. But Fulham actually had a real go at us. Obviously they got an early goal, 1-0 up. But Cavani and Pogba's goal was absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant goal. I'll give you mad props for that. And he's one of your best players. I don't know why you disrespect him. He's still one of your best players.
No, he is. It's just that I just don't like his
attitude. Yeah, he's very deep. I'll have to say
I hope. I think with the case of Pogba, I think he was sold a dream to come into United. He'll be the main man. We'll win this, win that. But the board has not backed the managers. So Pogba are being frustrated. Now we're winning, and you can see the likes of Paul Pogba stepping up. We're actually top the league, knocked out one of the best teams in Europe today. Out of the FA Cup. So aside from the Champions League, which was a bit of a damper, we are doing well in the season. That game against Fulham was a tough game for me. We played our strongest team, which I wasn't expecting because I did say on my preview last week that we're going to play a little bit less, of our team and save it for the Liverpool game. But it was the other way around, actually, almost the other way around. Where
you had Fred,
even the goalkeeper, even David De Gea played on Wednesday and Henderson played on today.
Yeah.
Whereas I predicted that Henderson would play on the weekday and David De Gea would play today.
You got the two mixed up. I think I'll actually prioritize the league. I think.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Clearly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is listening to our podcast, so he's messing with our mind at the moment.
He's messing with mine. Like, I'll play with Robin's mind here.
But that's I know I've done my player of the week. I'll get into a bit more in depth with the stinker of the week a bit later on when we come to the segment. But that's me done. Fantastic week. Big 6 points, or even though despite one of them is in the FA Cup, but I'll take the 6 points. Liverpool 2 games, 4 points taken away from them. Literally, they haven't beaten us in 2 games now.
United against superiority.
I'm counting all the points, even the FA Cup points, even though there's no FA Cup. I'm counting them.
It's still bragging rights.
And the funny thing is that Liverpool's got a very tough schedule ahead, and United.
I've seen it. I've actually seen it.
Yeah,
Liverpool fans in pain right now.
Yeah, they got Spurs coming up. They got City coming up. Just to name a few. They got, I think, Leicester coming up as well. And I think
good luck, Jurgen.
Yeah, they are 6 points behind United at the moment, and Liverpool are playing Spurs next, who played one less game than.
Oh wow! Jose Mourinho time, I need to help you out.
Mourinho is the master tactician when it comes to parking the bus.
Yeah,
and, it's nice to shove misery into the reigning champions. 6 games in a row now, they haven't won a single game, and United are flying high, and I'm enjoying United at the moment, and. Long may it continue on to next week. Over to you, Danny.
Yeah, and you're no longer all out, are you fully?
About Arsenal.
Yeah. There's a lot to go into first, but go easy on me. It's been a rough time in terms of the football on the pitch. Off the pitch.
Talk to me.
Okay, you're all done the United side, yeah?
I'm all done, man. The floor is yours for the next 5-10 minutes. Go for it.
All right, cool. Where do I start? I think I'll go in chronological order. I'll start with the Premier League game at the start of the week, on the day after the last episode.
Big win.
Big win, Newcastle United. I think in the first half it was like a bit slow. I think we came back into the game, and it was funny because we were criticizing Aubameyang, saying what's happened to him recently. Yeah. In the first half, he really struggled. He missed the absolute sitter. He was open
to our podcast, isn't he?
Yeah, he's to our podcast.
Criticizing him.
Oba, we love you. You've stepped it up, and you finally got some goals in that match. Yeah. In that match, we had a pretty much full strength team. But what was interesting about that side was that we actually dropped Hector Bellerin and we brought in Cedric Suarez, which I haven't really mentioned.
You absolutely dominated them.
Yeah, we dominated Newcastle. They've been one of the worst teams in the league. This is, let's be real, and Steve Bruce is not it, is he?
Yeah.
I think Newcastle fans are turned against him. But we played a really strong team. The only really notable change from our usual thing is obviously bringing Partey back in. You know, his first start in a while, I think.
Yeah.
And,
I actually sat down on Monday after my stream and thought, what game is on? Oh yes, Arsenal and
yeah,
Newcastle 8 o'clock. It's a nice kickoff. And I
yeah.
was shocked to see Partey back. I'm like, is he back from injury? Have we
Yeah, I
missed
did tell
something?
you he needs to be back
He
and
did say yes.
straight back
Yeah.
into the lineup. Yeah, and obviously he had a fantastic performance. He provided absolutely sensational Özil-esque assist to Aubameyang for his first goal. He from his own half actually sliced it through to him, and then excellent finish from Aubameyang just at the start of that second half. Even I'll admit it, I'll put my hands up and say at half time I was actually criticising him. I was saying take him off. I'll hold my hands up and say that. I was saying take him off. I'm glad.
I have to say I watched about 50th minute. Then it was getting late for me because I had to get ready for work and etc. So I didn't catch the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But Saka, love that guy.
Yeah, Saka, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, another brilliant performance from him. But yeah, like I said, Partey to Aubameyang link up was fantastic.
Yeah.
Smith Rowe and Saka for the second goal linking up. That was made in hell, and mate, like you saw how the Emil Smith Rowe penetrating the back line, and he's like I'm not going to compare him again, but to Özil, like how he's penetrating the back line. In his prime, and then slicing it through to Saka for that goal. I think, like you guys, we've got a mixture of youth and experience linking up.
Yeah,
and so I think that's really promising for us. Lacazette up front, I think he's become a bit quiet recently, but I think he's still, for now, I think he should be the answer up front. I think because he's good at, like I said before, he's good at holding up the play. But behind him, Aubameyang, Smith Rowe, Saka. I actually said maybe Martin should be given a chance. I remember saying that. But even in the last episode, I did say that I think Aubameyang should be trialed to be dropped. But thank God
you did say that.
Yeah,
you were absolutely angry with him.
Yeah, I was absolutely. We all were, all the Arsenal fans, but that's why Arteta is the manager and we're the fans, aren't we? So, Arteta saw that Aubameyang was, he's still fit to start in that team, and he showed that in the second half. I think he must have told something to him at half time. Keep going, keep pushing. Because, like I said, he missed the open goal in the first half, but he still picked it up and kept it moving. But yeah, another notable thing is that, like I said, Cedric Suarez replacing Bellerin in the team out of nowhere. Everyone's questioning that because I don't really mention him too much, Cedric, because the thing with him is he's actually a third choice right back, isn't he? Like typically, he plays in the Europa League and he played in the group stages, and he started from Southampton. He was more of a squad player, but we brought him in, and he's a natural right back, and it showed. He's better at crossing than Bellerin. He's better at defending than Bellerin. We saw that in that performance. So I think he should be given a chance for the foreseeable future. Rob Holding and David Luiz, they were pretty good as well. Like I said, kept a clean sheet. And I think that was a fifth clean sheet in a row at that point. Obviously, I'll get into the FA Cup match. But in the league, we kept a couple of clean sheets. Big up to Bernd Leno.
Which pushes you up to 11th now, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think it was 10th.
And the last 5 games in the Premier League, just a few stats for you.
Yeah.
Last 5 games in the Premier League, you've won 4 and drawn once, which is a real show of turn.
Like I said, the Boxing Day win over Chelsea was a real turning point. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea have been poor as of recently. They lost to Leicester the other day as well. But we capitalised on that, and players like Kieran Tierney. I'm always going to praise him. Like he's one of the best players. I'm always going to be shouting my praise about him. But Xhaka and Partey is a good midfield duo as well. And that's it for that match. Really, I'm just happy we got the 3-0. It was convincing in the end. But I think the main one we want to discuss now is flipping the FA Cup.
I was scared to go to this. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Indeed.
I had to watch the early kickoff for that, mate. 12:15. Yeah. Oh my God. We're the holders of the FA Cup, mate.
I did not watch the game. Watch the game. How was
good job. It was painful, mate. It was painful. You can't just say. Arteta, hold your hand.
Gabriel scored an own goal, right?
Oh, okay. yeah.
I saw memes going around everywhere.
Yeah, look,
Arsenal,
I woke up.
Knockout Arsenal.
Yeah. Yeah, we shot ourselves in the back there, but I just want to say Arteta needs to hold his hands up his shame. He's been doing well recently, like in terms of turning the tide against him, like in his favour. But in this match, from the offset, I woke up, I saw the lineup. I was like, what is that lineup? Like you see the lines when you see it's very changed. Obviously, we did sign Matt Ryan, which I'll get onto. Another backup goalkeeper, which is I'll get onto that in the transfer section. But even though he signed him the day before, he was eligible to play in this game. So I thought maybe he'd get given a shot in this game. But instead, we still went for Leno, which I do agree with because goalkeepers don't really need a rest either. Like we said in the previous
goalkeepers. I don't think they need it at all.
He didn't need a rest, but
unless they're injured, they don't need a rest.
Yeah, exactly. We got the backup option there now, though, like a solid backup option. But Leno had a decent game, but like I said, that goal you couldn't really do much about it because he went under his arm. But yeah, we brought Gabriel back. He had a poor game. Don't get me wrong. he's been obviously one of our best signings in recent years. You know, he's potential to be a great defender for us, and he's been fantastic for the majority of the time. But this match, he absolutely dropped a stinker. That own goal was horrendous. Like that crossing, and then I mean, there's not really much you can do. You know, he's in the corridor of uncertainty. He's in the box. The ball bounces off him. What can you really do in it? Rob Holding got given another chance in the FA Cup. I thought he might get rested, but he got given another chance. He was average. Hector Bellerin had a poor game. You know, he's playing it right back. And then I know I was just praising Cedric Soares. He played at left back today. So obviously Tierney got dropped. Where was Tierney today? You know, at least, you know, we're the holders of the cup. We should have played a more serious lineup. You know, Cedric, he played poor today in that match. I mean,
and realistically, this was your only real chance of winning the trophy. I mean, you're in the Europa League now, isn't it?
We're in the Europa League. We're playing Benfica. We're playing
that's
Benfica
a tougher
in this
competition.
first knockout round. The tough competition, don't get me wrong. I've said it before. Group stages are always a walkover majority of the time. Then you get to knockout round. You get serious in it because you got all the serious European teams in there with us. And, you know, it beats me how we're going to win that. We got Benfica in the first knockout round. We played Cedric Soares in that left back position, which he isn't a left back, is he? Why did we drop Tierney for this match? We should have played a serious team. I know we need a backup left back, which is another thing for the transfers, but Cedric played out of position. You can't really blame him. It's more of the coaching thing, isn't it? Like he played him out of position. What is he supposed to do? You know, he's playing on the wrong side. You can't really fault him too much. Xhaka, he was average again. El Neni, he's not good enough. Simple as. You know, he was good in that United game, and that was about it. You know, he had another poor game. You could see why we needed a Thomas Partey in there. He came on. He was okay, but obviously it was too late for him to make an impact on the game. And obviously Martinelli, I don't know why he got subbed off, because as I'll get on to, the absolute two stinkers of the week. I don't know who I'm supposed to pick for the stinker of the week.
We should come on to straight after this.
Yeah, we'll come on to straight after this review,
and then we'll preview.
I just want to say, Willian and Nketiah, absolutely horrendous performances from them too.
I saw things around Willian. How bad was he?
Yeah, Willian. Yeah, like I said, he played in the number 10 position, which is just pathetic. In his another coaching fault. Why is he playing in the central attacking midfield position? I know we're signing a number 10, obviously a special number 10 we're signing, but why didn't Smith Rowe play in this and at least? You know what I'm saying? Smith Rowe's been playing well. And this is a cup competition that we're defending. We won the flipping competition. So why
there should be some sort of pride to it, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of pride. Arteta just changed it completely. And Willian played in the number 10 position. Absolutely horrendous. Like I saw this stat, an absolutely horrendous stat. Since he's come to Arsenal, in his 20 appearances in all competitions, he's only got 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
Yeah, 2 shots on target in his 20 appearances.
I do not believe that.
I don't know. The source is Squawker Football. Is a really irreputable stat.
Can
you see how horrendous he is, Robbie? Can you see why I'm so angry? Like, seriously, why is he giving a chance? If I was Arteta, I'd got my way, terminate his deal. We're paying him a stupid wage. 3 years we gave that guy, that fraud. Get him out. Don't get me wrong, he was good at Chelsea, like I said before, but he's been nothing for us. Like, bar the opening game against Fulham at the very start of the season. Yeah. He was good at that game, but since then he was absolutely rubbish. And that showed again today. You know, he's playing in number 10. He doesn't suit that role. Smith Rowe should have started. You got Pepe playing on the right wing. He didn't make much of an impact again. So obviously the debate's going to start again about, is it £72 million waste of money or do we cash in? You know, I always say give him a chance, give him more of a chance. But I think every time he's given a chance, he doesn't seem to, especially this season, he hasn't been performing, except maybe in the Europa League. But this match was poor again. I think the funny thing about him is, out of the whole team, he created the most chances, 5 chances, but like I said, no finishing, which is what brings me on to Nketiah. The thing is, there was a really controversial thing that happened after the match. Nketiah obviously dropped a stinker. He's one of our young strikers, and there's been a lot of calls for him to be dropped. And then you got another one of our young strikers. Yeah, basically, he obviously dropped a stinker, and then we got one of our other young strikers, which I mentioned before on my previous transfer segments and other episodes about Balogun. Following Balogun, which he never gets given a chance. He's one of our young strikers. I think he's 19-year-old. He's been fantastic for the academy. And as soon as the full-time whistle blew, guess what he tweeted? And he posted on Instagram as well, I believe, a goal of him scoring in the academy, like a beautiful solo goal. And then he put like a facepalm emoji on the caption. It was literally just after the final whistle of this game. And people are saying, some people are saying, Balogun has absolutely mocked it. Like, he's fully digging at Nketiah, saying, and Arteta saying, why are you not giving me a chance? And obviously, his contract saga is rumbling on. Is he going to sign a contract or is he going to go somewhere else? You know, he's only 19. We're going to be losing a big prized asset, and he's never getting given a chance, except in the Europa League off the bench, he's given a chance. So he's fully mocking it. And people are saying that, don't you have no shame? Don't you have no respect? Like, he's kind of digging at the Arteta and them in a way, which some of the players have been doing anyway. Like I said, one thing I can't blame Arteta for, other than the lineup selection being atrocious, is that Aubameyang pulled out. Like, he actually travelled to Southampton, and he actually he had to go back to London for an emergency. I think he had some kind of personal issue. So I think I don't know, something happened in his family. So obviously we don't know if he was going to start this game or not. Whether he made an impact or not, we don't know. But obviously, I wish him the best. We're thinking of you, Orba, if you're listening to this podcast. But I hope he's okay.
Of course, he's going to be listening to it. Of course,
yeah, of course he is my captain. But I hope he's okay, because Arteta just after the match that it's a shame for us to go out the competition. But I wish we had Orba, because he might not even be back for Tuesday, which we're playing Southampton again. We'll preview that, but in the league this time at St Mary's again. Orba might not be available for that either, because of this same personal issue. So it begs the question, what's actually happened there. So best of wishes for him. I hope he's doing okay. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse for that lineup. Is there, Robin? Atrocious lineup. And we had to field 2 keepers on the bench, because Aubameyang had to go back in, because I think there's extra keeper for warm-ups. That's why we had Runarsson and Ryan on the bench. Yeah, but there's no one could make an impact in this match. I'm really, really disgusted and ashamed that they disrespected the cup like this, and Mikel has. So yeah, that's it. It's a full-on rant from me.
It was our cup to defend, our cup to win, and we owned that cup and were eliminated from it. I am absolutely gutted.
Strong words. Strong words.
Yeah. So we're out of the cup now for the rest of this season. Now that might be our best chance of a trophy, like you said.
Yeah. Let's now talk about the player of the week and stinker of the week. Let's get out of the way before we preview the week ahead.
Yeah, player of the week. Obviously it's tough for me, especially yesterday. Obviously, no one deserves it in that team. No one even put any kind of special performance in. But on the basis of that Newcastle game, and like you said to Greenwood's, I think having personal problems as well. I think we got dedicated to Aubameyang this week. Haven't we got dedicated to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang?
Yeah, I agreed.
Not just because of his brace, and to come back from his rut. You can say obviously what's happening with him personally. We don't know exactly what's happening, but like I said, I wish you all the best, Orba, and thingy. He has to be handed to him, and he was the best of a bad situation this week. In the league, ain't all doom and gloom. We're slowly creeping back to the top 4, making some good signings, and I'm happy. Orba has to be the player of the week. Shall I say my stinker of the week? Or?
Yeah. Then I'll come back to my stinker of the week.
Yeah, stinker of the week. I think like I said, it's between 2 players, Eddie Nketiah and Willian, but because Nketiah is young, and there's obviously been a lot he hasn't really played.
Surely,
it has to be Willian. Yeah, like Nketiah you got to remember Nketiah. He's been a backup striker for so long. Like we prioritize Lacazette, Aubameyang, Martinelli up front and on the forward position. So you can't really fault Nketiah that much. Obviously, it was a poor performance from him. There's a couple of chances he should have finished. He was tame, but he hasn't been starting any games recently. He just got drafted in suddenly. I assume because obviously Aubameyang pulled out at the last second. You can't fault him. He's a close second, but he has to be Willian. Atrocious from him. I think for considering a guy who's got 7-8 years of Premier League experience now, and he's dropping stinker after stinker for us. He feels like he's playing against us, So yeah, he has to. It's not a debate. He's Willian's stinker of the week this week. But yeah, over to you.
Oh my God, my stinker of the week. I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
You two W's this week.
We're in a good spot. Everyone's playing well, but I do. Despite saying it's a bit hard, I can pick somebody. I guess if I have to really think about it.
If you have to, yeah.
Yes, I will go for Donny van de Beek.
You really think he played? I actually think he was okay. I don't know about you.
I paused for it. Let me explain, guys. Yeah,
go on. You elaborate.
So Donny van de Beek hasn't played for a while, right?
Yeah.
And I think him playing today was, I guess, it is what it is. Yeah. But I felt that he did not at all pull his weight, especially in the second half. He was nowhere to be found. He was just drifting across. In the first half, he did well. But I think that's not his fault. It's to do with his lack of game time.
Exactly. Then Nketiah is not getting a chance.
Yeah.
So can't refault.
Hence why it's hard. Yes. That's why it's hard to pick a stinker of the week. But for me, yes, I will go for Donny van de Beek solely because I can't think of anyone else in the team. Like, who else do I give it to? Do I give it to McTominay and Fred? I don't think so. They didn't have a disastrous game at all. Match had a good game over the weekday. Pogba's been brilliant. Bruno's got the winner today. Mason Greenwood even. Martial, Cavani, Rashford. I know
everyone's been on fire for you, even
even Maguire, well. Lindelof. I mean,
Lindelof, that centre back partnership that you're questioning for so long, exactly.
So it's hard. So if I have to pick someone, I'll go for I will actually go for
Van de Beek, or you're
I'm
changing your
sorry,
mind?
that is hard. But I
It's
love
hard
to-
because for me, it's the best of a bad situation picking a good player of the week. For you, it's the worst of
Yeah.
a good situation picking a stinker of the week. So it's opposite
Yeah,
for
so
you.
it's hard, and you know what? It's nice to be in this position.
Yeah, I'd love to be in
Able
that
to,
position, finding it hard to pick a stinker and easy to pick a player
yeah,
of the week.
yeah.
I'd
So
love to be in your position, but yeah,
but
pick
anyway,
someone.
let's move on to the next segment now. I
Van
think
de Beek is good. Okay, Van de Beek is
yeah,
fine.
Van der Beek for me, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I
All
have
right,
to pick
cool.
someone. If the rule is okay, get this. The rule is we have to pick someone. Yeah,
You have to pick someone, yeah.
yeah. So I have to pick someone.
Yeah. You can't blame me for not getting the game time you want. Yeah, I heard that he's been rejected a lot. I know you're going to the transfers, but he's been looking to get loaned out, hasn't he? I heard. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to that.
We'll go into the transfer section with that. But yeah, now I think what do you want to do? Preview the games, or do you want to talk about Özil?
Let's actually, let's talk about Özil.
Yeah, just I just want to just finish my final thoughts on him, because obviously today it's been officially announced that he's become a Fenerbahce player.
Yeah,
He's actually posted a couple of farewell messages. Interesting words, to say the least. In the last week or two, we've basically known he's going.
Just as sad as I was to see, just mad props to Fenerbahce for their announcement video. I hope our Odegaard announcement video is half as good, but Fenerbahce's announcement video for Özil was fantastic, so mad props to them. Obviously sad as Arsenal fan to see it, but they must be loving it over there. I think he'll be loved and cherished there at his boyhood club, so I wish him all the best there. And yeah, it was a fantastic announcement video if you want to go and watch it.
You got people like Squadron Mustafi coming out with a tweet. I'll just read it out for you. He says, "Bro, you have been the most unselfish player on and off the pitch I've ever shared the dressing room with. You'll always be remembered as the #assist king." And this last line here, I remember me and you was actually tweeting back and forth about it, that we need to mention this on the podcast. And is, unfortunately, we as a team haven't been able to assist you when you needed us the most. All the best. What do you make of that? I mean, that's some strong words.
Oh man,
Just why is this situation at this club, with Mesut Özil, how it's ended with him, his legacy, like we previously discussed, but it's the way it's ended, isn't it?
I have no idea. Like, I legitimately, I think there was a bit of there has been a friction at the club in relation to some players.
I said, some players, like I said before, Balogun having a dig. I know that's unrelated, but Balogun had his own dig as the team.
And I think certain players like your Mustafi is becoming disillusioned with life at Arsenal. And I think
I think he wants that anyway. I think he's a contract.
Yeah. I think
he's another one that, but he's the end of an era, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that he's seen this and thought, hang on, I can actually say something and get my way out of the club, because I don't want to be at the club.
Yeah,
that's literally, I reckon that's what has happened, and
it's kind of like a sting in the tail, like he's having a dig at Arteta again, the board, because how Özil had to stand up for Uyghur Muslims and all that, and how that's leading to this kind of situation from that. Like, it's a horrible butterfly effect, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And like I said, Özil posted a couple of farewell posts, saying thank you, Gunners.
Yeah.
#Ya Gunners, yeah. His famous words, saying, dear Gunners, 7.5 years, nearly 3,000 days. It feels strange to be writing this message, but you can have spent such a long time here. When Arsene Wenger brought me here, and I've made such a legacy with him. And being with Arsenal for so long has been so many ups and downs, over 250 games. 41 goals and 71 assists later. It's time that Arsenal officially part ways. And together we ended the 9-year trophy drought, and he brought long-needed silverware back to the fans who deserved it. And is it difficult to put into words the love I feel for this club and the fans? How could I possibly describe 8 years of gratitude in a single letter? I think that's really nice of him. Really classy from him. He said, whilst I may longer be able to play for the club, I'll continue to support them in every game they play. I'll be a gunner for life. My guy, a gunner for life, And no doubt about that. Now more than ever.
And also, he's posted his last picture, which was nice.
Video outside Emirates saying that
was
all
nice.
the best from Istanbul. I'm going to miss all the memories I said as an Arsenal player, saying the prime years of my life, my career there. You see, this season is a tough one. I'm still going to be supporting everyone just the same. And he did mention at the end of his statement, he said the principles of class, respect, and dignity must never be forgotten. At the end, he didn't end well with it, but he still said that the club's been classy in the majority of the years he's been here. He said it's a responsibility for every person from the club to make sure they carry out their job in the name of this value. And finally, he ends off saying, as I said, these past few months haven't been the easiest. Like every player, I want to play every minute of football for every team, for my team, which obviously you can't, blame him for. We wanted him there. In life, however, things do not always play out how we expect or want them to. But it is important to look at the positives of life and not the negative, which is why I try to live with no regrets and holding no grudges. Being at Arsenal is more than just football; it's about community. As much as I try to assist on the pitch, I try to be part of the London community as much as I could too. And it might be the end of a chapter, but my connection with this amazing club will never fade. Might be goodbye for now, but it's not goodbye forever. Just Arsenal fans around the world, Gunners, your Mesut. So yeah, from Istanbul, I just wish him all the best. Like I said before, it's just closing thoughts on that. I just think it's a shame how it's ended, isn't it? What do you think? I think he's classy how he's wrote a statement himself, and he classed Arsenal as we. Like he's saying, I'm still always going to be one of you, and I'm also going to love you forever as a club. So I think
personally, I'm not going to dwell on it too much because we know the reasons behind it. I think it's a political reason. It's the fact that what he's said before in relation to human rights, Özil. And since then, Arsenal have ousted them out due to some sponsorship issues that they may potentially have.
Yeah.
And obviously, he embarrassed Arsenal along the way in a sense that when Arsenal sacked your mascot, he decided to pay the
October. Back in October, he actually covered his salary. I think that's classy of him. He's done
which eventually made Arsenal kind of backtrack and rehire him back, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think he done it in the right way. He embarrassed Arsenal in the right way. He didn't kind of go out of his way and diss them or take the club down. Even the last message he left before he left the club it was a classy message, I think. But I think it's a new leaf. I think Arsenal should move over from them because they've done everything that they needed to do this season without him. So it's not as if you guys need.
Yeah, I think it's just someone missing, but in that position, but. We got someone there now.
But this is our transfer section, right? Let's go for it. Let's go for the transfer section.
You want to go transfer section before the preview? You want to do transfer
Yeah, because the preview is going to be a bit longer. So we'll keep at least solid 10 minutes just for the...
Oh, yeah, because we're playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we're on the 35th minute. So in the next 5 minutes, we can talk about transfers. In the last 10 minutes, just solid Man United Arsenal.
Yeah, I just want to say, I've seen him in training today as well. But yeah, that's finally that saga's over. We can move forward with what we want to do. Getting players off the wage bill, including Özil, because he had a lot of wages, didn't he? Here, 350 grand a week. So obviously we've been able to use that fund some signings of our own. Shall I get into that?
Yeah, I mean, you can continue. I mean,
I'll talk about my transfer. Just one last thing.
You have a confirmation transfer to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah, confirmation transfer. But just one last thing about Özil. I just think that Arsenal, the way they've brought the farewell post on us, I think was a bit poor. Like if you see, like for example, Giroud, who went to Chelsea, and they wrote like a long statement about, thanks for all the scorpion kick goals, FA Cup final assists, thanks for all the like how many goals he scored. Thank you, Olivier Giroud, for everything. And then for Mesut Özil, just thank you, Mesut Özil. For a guy who's given 7-8 years of his life, I think is a bit.
I think that was a bit.
That's another thing that emphasizes the friction. I think, but I think now he's like he's relieving himself of his affiliation with us. Other than that fact, he's going to be a fan of us. He's going to follow us still. But in terms of being a player, I think Arsenal should have gone about it in a more classier manner. Don't you think?
I think the club of their size and stature, the history, and the legendary players that came through the club, they needed to have a bit more class. Especially for someone who's been at the club for a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't been like who's had previous.
Yeah, and who's had more goods than wrongs.
He's had way more highs and lows. I can name you so many great memories on the goals. Like I said in the previous episode, but I won't delve too much into it now. He's got some fantastic goals and memories. And the big thing about him is that he didn't snake us. He didn't betray us like how Giroud or Sanchez or Van Persie did. He got offered contracts for other clubs and he stayed. And he should be I think he should remember for his loyalty as well as his footballing ability. I just wish him the best in Turkey. I think he'll rip it up there, won't he, for sure? I mean, I think he's too good for there. But that's just me closing on Özil. But we have replaced. We are going to replace him. We are going to replace him, Mr. Martin Ødegaard.
What a player!
What a signing! I'm absolutely. As much as it is bittersweet this week, not just with the football on the pitch going, after the cup, Özil leaving, but it's actually gonna be mad. Özil leaving, and then a day later, I think probably according to Fabrizio, we did say that the medical is going to take place within the next day.
I mean, for anything coming out of Fabrizio, I'm taking.
Yeah, Fabrizio he's going to go. And today, great timing by the way. Just before we came to film this episode, just a couple of hours before, Martin Ødegaard.
Before you
here
stop,
we go.
Before,
here we go.
Yeah. Before you start talking about Ødegaard, I just want to to our listeners out there, I just want to give you a heads up on who is Martin Ødegaard, right?
Yeah,
because some of us don't know who he is. So Martin Ødegaard came through a sensational youth team. I think I can't remember what was his first club.
I think Strom's Godset in Norway.
It's from Norway. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, from Norway. So he's had a big future, and his contract started to run out, or there was no contract on the table, and they decided to leave. A whole host of European clubs came in for him: Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, even Manchester United. These were at that time all confirmed to come into him. So he had a lot of clubs.
Consider this was back in 2015 when he was like
so he had a lot of
teenager.
I do remember him, and I do remember saying to United, please sign him, right? But unfortunately, he went to the worst club possible, which is Real Madrid. They have no youth development. I would rather
the thing with Real Madrid, they got so much talent, but they can only build 11
I would rather have him go to Bayern than Real. At least Bayern has a track record of building young youth, right?
Definitely.
So I thought this was a step in the backwards direction for him, and I also thought that maybe money played a lot of part.
You mean you going to Real Madrid from Norway? I think it's a great move for him, but
I think money played a lot of money played a lot of part in that, because he got 80 grand a week as a 15-year-old to get 80 grand a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, fast forward, he got loaned out to various clubs across Europe. You're talking about Shakhtar.
Yeah, I think he was in the Eredivisie first. I think he was at Heerenveen and.
But he is still one of the best youngsters in world football. He's at the age.
He's still only 22. Yeah, he's still only 22.
I do feel that if he went to someone like Bayern, we would have heard his name everywhere. But unfortunately, he went to Madrid, who loaned him out, didn't give him game time. This season so far in 2021, right? Season 20 to 21. Sorry, not 2021. He has played 9 games only, which means he needed to move on.
Can I just interrupt you there, Robin? Like I said, he went on loan when he was like a teenager. Still went on loan to Netherlands. He was okay there, and then I think when he went to Heerenveen, and then he was okay. And then he went to Vitesse. He ripped it up there. It's a Dutch league, and then last year, I think 2019, that season, he actually went on a 2-year loan initially to Real Sociedad. And then what was the mad thing about that is that Zidane and Perez called him back. The Fiorentino Perez, the president, called him back. Like I think midway into his 2-year loan, which is started this season. They promised him, "You're going to get game time, Martin. I think you become a sensational player," because he did rip it up at Sociedad. He became one of their key players, which is why they wanted to loan him back, and they competed with us for him. And
now clearly Madrid are just playing with him, and they just loaned him.
Yeah, they played with him. They broke their promise to him. Like they stopped playing him.
And I think if I was Ødegaard, I would not accept a new contract from Madrid. This kid can go into any club. Pretty much, he has a picking of any club. He's that talented, and him coming into the Premier League, I'm excited. I'm happy, and he's the number 10 that you guys potentially need. Well, not potentially need, but he can become the potential star.
Well, I think he's a crucial player. I know Smith Rowe's been performing, but he needs someone to compete with, and this is perfect signing for.
He's the type of playmaker we've been crying out loud for, just like the Ozil-esque type player. He dribbles, he penetrates the back line. Puts the passes into the attack that he needs to do. He's good at set pieces. He can get into the box. He can push on the attack. Like I said, we're lacking playmaking. We need someone in there to put those balls in. Emil Smith-Rowe's been doing that recently. Ødegaard has been doing it at the top level for years now. He's been a baller, and he's still only 22. So I think we should look to get him permanently. But right now we've loaned him in. I'm ecstatic about that. He's an absolute baller, and I wish him the very best at Arsenal. I can't wait to see him in an Arsenal shirt. I'm absolutely buzzing, because he's that bad boy playmaker we've been looking for time, really, ever since Ozil hasn't been at his peak and hasn't been at his prime. So Ødegaard, it matches that profile. He's exactly the profile we've been looking for, and I can't wait for him to get started. Welcome to Arsenal, Ødegaard.
It's the funny thing about Odegaard, like we never mentioned him on previous episodes. I always said about Buendia and Brandt.
Yeah, he came out
all
pretty
those
much,
different players, Ericsson, Isco, and
I
Odegaard
guess-
came out of nowhere.
I guess
'Cause
we
I
did
never
not
thought we
mention
could get-
Odegaard because that looked like it's not going to happen. Surely,
I never knew, that we could be that Arteta had that kind of ambition and do fair play to him. Like they did want Aouar, that didn't happen, and Odegaard is a similar player like Aouar, but he's a number 10. Aouar's at 8. They're both same age, and he stripped out of Sociedad. He got called back. He could well still be at Sociedad right now. He almost did go back to Sociedad, but
I believe he needs to isolate when he comes in here, right?
No, I think it's an elite sports person
Oh,
exemption.
yes,
so
yes,
basically,
yes. Which
if
is
he
fair,
tests
which is
negative,
good.
he can go straight to the team. Hopefully, all that happens.
Which is good, yeah.
Yeah, on medical. I think the medical's taking place tomorrow, according to Fabrizio. But let me just go through the key details of that deal. He did say, here we go, 5 hours ago now from this time of recording to today.
Yeah.
He said the agreement has been reached after last contact today between Arsenal and Real Madrid. He said loan until the end of the season, salary paid by Arsenal. And Arteta's call was key to convince the player, and medicals pending. The deal will be announced, and it's going to be a simple loan to start.
I think it's going to be a straightforward. It's pretty much done. I mean, on the weekend, no signings are made official.
Yeah,
you're going to see him
tomorrow morning.
Monday, Tuesday at most. You're going to see him.
Yeah, well, when you're hearing this podcast episode, listeners, he's probably already an Arsenal player. Let's be honest.
And he might be.
Aloni.
He might be. I have a sneaky feeling.
Yeah,
they're gonna try to get him in as soon as possible. I won't be surprised if he's flying right now for the United.
Like I said, you got the preview to come up, and Odegaard. When I said I want to name my predicted lineup, Odegaard's probably going to be part of that, because if he's signing tomorrow, like he probably will be from the time of recording, like I said, guys who are listening to this, he's probably already an Arsenal loanee by now. But Fabrizio does say it's going to be a simple loan until June this year, 2021, confirmed. No buy option, but Real and Arsenal would discuss at the end of the season and sit at the table to. Yeah. I think the AFC Bell did say that. I think I did mention about him. He's another reputable journalist who broke the Partey deal. I know a lot of Arsenal fans will know how good of a journalist he is, because he actually broke the Partey deal when no one knew about it. And he also said that Odegaard decided to pick Arsenal after mediating with his family. He had Real Sociedad and Ajax on the table, as Fabrizio also said. But he's opted to go to Arsenal.
Arsenal's a good club. They give
youngsters
a chance.
Yeah, we're a huge club, mate. Overall, obviously, we're not in the best form now.
But they give youngsters a chance, better than Madrid. I think Odegaard has made the right choice there.
Yeah, exactly. And if he rips it up here, which I hope he does, if he's the ground running, there's no reason why we can't go and discuss that at the end of the season. There's no buy option right now, but at the end of the season, like I said, the Real are open to discussing it. I think we can definitely try and negotiate something, especially if he rips it up. If not, then there's no problem. We can just send him back. If not, if he does, we'll try and sign permanently, I'm sure. He's not going to be cheap, obviously. I think all the players in La Liga have a release clause, but I think we'll probably still try and negotiate. I think there's a law, isn't there, in La Liga? Last time we got Partey, £45 million release clause, but Odegaard's release clause, let's be honest, probably going to be expensive. I don't know exactly how much it is, but I think we should negotiate something if he does well. So that's a very fantastic signing. I'm ecstatic about that. I think he'll get a lot of game time here. He'll compete with Smith Rowe, like I said. And it's his chances to showcase his skills in the Premier League, isn't it? I'm over the moon with that signing, and that's Odegaard. Welcome Odegaard. I hope he can fill Ozil's boots perfectly, and I hope he can take that number 10 shirt as well, because that's obviously vacant now, isn't it? It's another thing.
And get a load of this breaking news from the AFC Bell. Martin Ødegaard has indeed boarded a private jet, and it's being tracked by Arsenal fans. The fan base is going crazy tracking it. It is on its way from Madrid to London, a private aircraft, and everyone's going crazy about it. So, yeah, if that doesn't make it official, I don't know what will. It's crazy. Let's see how quickly they can get that deal done. Hopefully, by the time everyone's listening to this, it'll be done. But yeah, the plane is out of Madrid, private jet. It is live and flying to London as we speak. Breaking news. And before I get on to the next incoming upon that breaking news, I just do want to say best of luck to Socrates Papastathopoulos, who's has actually terminated his contract by mutual consent now, and he's going to be looking for a new club. I think every single match he played for us, he gave us his all, so I can't fault him. Just like with Mesut Ozil, I can't fault him for the 3 years he's been here, or 2.5 years, I believe. I think came summer 2018. He was a great defender, solid defender in his time. Obviously, it didn't end well for him as well. I think he just became surplus to requirements, but whenever he did play, he gave it his all. He did score a goal against Manchester United as well, if you'll remember, on New Year's Day 2020. So yeah, he gave his all. He was a warrior, a Greek warrior, and I wish him the best in his future endeavours.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
one signing.
We're still at the transfer section, so I'm just curious, looking at the time.
I just want to. There's been one more signing for us, obviously.
Yeah.
You know about it's not as obviously big as Odegaard, but it's another loan signing. Like we said before, that
Yeah, you
it's
just
probably
signed
gonna be a
two
lot
loans.
longer.
I popped up on my Twitter feed. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. A massive, really shock signing was Matt Ryan. The funny thing about him as well was that in the last episode I did mention Ryan, didn't I? If you do recall, I did mention Ryan. I said that we're looking at him as a potential option. And on Friday morning, I woke up and suddenly I saw Ryan in an Arsenal show. I was like, wait, what? When this came out of nowhere, there's no like in the days prior, there wasn't any like massive rumors. Like with Odegaard, like every journalist is onto it, like every single last part of the deal as it progresses. But Ryan came out of nowhere, he's going to be on loan to the end of the season. They'll probably sign him permanently. Let's see what happens. He's going to be a solid number 2. He's got Premier League experience. He's Aussie. There's no language barrier, For that particular branding is good. Like he's a good Aussie. I think he's Australia's number 1 goalkeeper, and like I said before, he's our favourite at Brighton. So hopefully he gets some game time we're out of the cup now, but in the Europa League and stuff. Hopefully he gets some game time, and now at least there's not any anxiety about if Blenheim gets injured, who are going to play in there. We're not going to play Renarson because he's not good enough. We still got solid Premier League experienced goalkeeper in there. So again, I'm happy with that signing. A bit surprised with that one. I'm surprised with Bolton. Let's be real here. But Ryan came out of nowhere. Odegaard slowly built up, and it's happening. As we speak. But Ryan is done. So yeah, welcome Ryan. Both loan signings. Hopefully we can sign both of them permanently. But I think that this week is for me to report done deals, not particular rumours. But there's just one final rumour that I want to report is that we're looking at a backup left back. Obviously, in the FA Cup game we went out, we played Cedric in left back, which is out of position. So if anything happens to Tierney, which he can pick up a bit injury. I think last season he did pick up an injury, so he can be injury prone. And obviously he's a key player for us. So if he gets into who do you bring in? We've been linked with Ryan Bertrand for Southampton. And I think his experience. He's not he's not ideal, but it's sort of backup. I think he's not the worst idea. I wouldn't be against it completely. I think there's better options, but I think that's the rumor for backup left back. And those are the positions we're prioritising. And Arteta did say that I'm going to get some phone calls after that FA Cup match in regards to Odegaard and every deal. And the key word is every deal. It's like it sounds to me like he's getting more than one deal done as we speak. So I think it's not just Odegaard. I think he's not done yet. Odegaard and Ryan are coming in, but I think there's more to come. Probably a backup left back. But that's Arsenal transfer news for this episode.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
I'm happy with the transfers this week. What about you?
So in relation to United, there hasn't been many, apart from rumours, there hasn't been many. I've done a few videos on my YouTube channel around it. Sergio Ramos, David Alaba and Dayot Upamecano has come into the radar. Obviously Sergio Ramos, apparently we've made
those are big ones, big rumours.
Yeah, we apparently made contact with his agent, which I believe is his brother, if I'm not mistaken. But we've seen Ramos use us before for contract about 4 seasons ago, when he came out publicly and said it, and then next he's signing a contract at Real Madrid. Obviously, every club in the world is pretty much after David Alaba. He is free to talk to any clubs, and apparently Manchester United have come in with a very good offer for him, to sign. And the persistent one that's been popping up recently again is Dayot Upamecano. Things are hotting up around him. Bayern Munich has apparently entered the race. They have come out and officially confirmed a few things around Dayot Upamecano as well, which is scary, because when Bayern Munich go in for a player, it's pretty much they're going to get him. Obviously, because he's such a talented defender, his release clause is 42.5 million euros, which means that somebody's got to meet the release clause, and that's it.
Surely this summer, I think that's maybe this window, probably in the summer, isn't it?
These are the players that's been talked about in the summer. There's nothing really talked about this window. Only outs. So
you don't think you're gonna sign anyone this window?
I highly doubt it. We got a few days to go, and
you're doing well with the players you got, and you got the depth there anyway.
Yeah,
we need the
important thing I think is this week. This is the last week of the transfer window. In relation to player outs, so Facundo Pellistri, the youngster we signed for £7 million over the summer, the right winger, he's been touted to go out on loan. I think that's a good choice. I think
he's got loan out, so I think Pellistri and Van der Beek, was it? Like I said before.
Yeah, Van der Beek is the other one that's apparently, but I don't think he's going to go on loan. I think
he got rejected in the loan bid. I can't remember which club.
It was a rumor. It's nothing confirmed, but Pellistri one seems to have a bit more legs. I think. Players like Dan James and Pellistri should go out on loan. these are the players that need game time, and I think they're still young and they can develop. Get them out on loan. Diallo has obviously been training for us this past week or two, and I did say that he's not going to feature in any of this week. I did say his first game potentially is going to be against Sheffield United, which is this Wednesday. And the last bit of news is Jesse Lingard. So Jesse Lingard looks set to be on his way out because he's been not included in the 24-man registered squad. To play in the Premier League.
Yeah, so he's probably going. He's
basically been taken out, and Diallo's taken his place.
That's wise, I guess.
Lingard 24. Yeah, in the 24-man list. He hasn't played at all much this season. Maybe 2 games at tops, and we're in almost February. I think it's good for him to move on. Aside from that, these are the latest United transfer news last week.
So it's just more about rumoured outgoings and summer incomings, not anything particularly in January. Like you said,
in terms of outgoing, it is the Jesse Lingard thing. I think last week I touched upon Sergio Romero and Rojo, and pretty much nothing new has come out of it. It's still in the same boat. And Pellistri is and obviously Donny van der Beek is the loan things that's been coming out. In terms of ins, as I said, apart from these rumours, there hasn't been many sort of anything coming out, players coming out, former players coming out saying United need this, etc., etc.
Yeah, there's always going to be those type of.
But
it's not a complete squad.
I think we're not going to be making any signings, given the fact that where we are. I think if we were losing, and I think just like Bruno Fernandes happened last January, I think that will be the case.
Exactly. Like we needed a playmaker, but I don't think you strictly need anyone.
But anyway, that's it.
That's it for transfers this week.
Yeah,
big
ahead.
week for us. But look ahead. Even
what we're going to do with the look ahead. Because we've got about roughly 7 minutes. We've got Southampton and Arsenal on the midweek, and I got United and Sheffield United.
Yeah, we'll swiftly move to that.
We'll just literally spend a minute or so on those two.
Yeah, I'll just give prediction line for prediction, like quick time. So
talk about Southampton Arsenal then quickly.
So obviously I'm not confident about that one. We just play at St Mary's then, but obviously, like I said before, the lineup was weak then. This time I think we'll go back to our strong team. I'm hoping Aubameyang will be back, but we don't know about that personal issue, so he might be out.
You sure they're going to go to a strong team given the fact they play United 4 days after?
They do play we do. But we need to win this, mate. Southampton away. Ralph Hasenhuttl, he's just outclassed us in the FA Cup, and he played a strong team then. Do you really think Dan Ings and I'm going to rest for them for this match? I mean, do you really think they're not going to, are they? So they'll play a strong team. I think we should as well. We should match that. I think Leno, Gabriel probably needs another chance, to redeem himself. I still think he's one of our best defenders. What's happened to Pablo Mari as well? Where's he gone? I think it'll be Gabriel Holding or David Luiz and Holding the centre back partnership, and then Tierney has to come back in. Right back, I think Cedric should be given another chance in his proper position, and then Partey and maybe Ceballos or Xhaka, because I don't think Elneny is playing well at the moment. I don't think Odegaard's going to play in that match. Maybe I don't know if he's going to.
He won't be thinking.
Well, I don't know if it's true, but according to Metro, if the deal does get registered by midday on Monday morning, then he technically would be eligible for the Tuesday night game against Southampton. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Maybe he'll be on the bench in that one and then start the United game. Who knows? But that's my information, that potentially he could be eligible to play on Tuesday night, let alone the United game, if the deal gets done officially by Monday morning. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one.
Well, if on that basis, I'm going to say Smith Rowe because he's in form and he's my star boy. I've always backed him just to start, so he has to play in there. I think Saka should play again. Aubameyang if he's available. If not, it has to be Martin Ødegaard and Lacazette up front. And predicted score. I think we can get a draw this time. I think if we play a stronger team, we can get a draw. I don't know if we can beat them. I think maybe
strong at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, knowing Arsenal, what we'll do, we either draw or lose to Southampton, we beat United. So I'm gonna say
fair.
I'm gonna say 1-1 to 1-1. I hope we can win, but if you're being real, I have to be real and say in my head, and that is 1-1 to the draw 1-1. You get a point,
it's a good draw
hopefully.
As well,
but yeah, over to you for your midweek.
So we've got Sheffield United. Very easy tie. They're the bottom of the league. We
Sheffield
are.
United, Is it home as well?
Yeah, we're at home at Old Trafford. So I reckon they're going to defend deep.
Yeah, they will.
They cannot attack.
To be fair, they gave you a good game at their ground, didn't they? Not long ago.
Yeah, but that was in the beginning before it all fell apart for them.
Yeah.
But for us, I think Matic will be coming in. I think I expect Fred to make an appearance. I do want to see Donny van de Beek more in there as well. I think players need to be rested. Tellez, I expect to see him. I want to see more of Mason Greenwood in there. Bailly,
Oh, yeah.
Maguire, De Gea back as well.
You don't think Lindelof is going to be dropped for this game?
No, because Lindelof is when we play Lindelof, we play deep.
Oh, yeah. That's
When we
right.
play
You need to
Bailly,
attack more.
because of his pace, we can push up. And Sheffield United.
You probably Lindelof against us, won't you?
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, which we'll come back to. But that's why I expect a 4-2-3-1 formation, and the form that we're in, I do expect Paul Pogba to be rested because he's played 4 games in a trot, full 90 minutes almost in every game, including both the Liverpool games. I do expect him to be rested. I want him to be rested because I want him firing against the Arsenal game. In terms of score prediction, I do believe we're going to keep a clean sheet despite the fact that we conceded a couple of goals against a very good Liverpool team.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for a big one. I'm going to go for a 4-0 win. 4-0 win Manchester United.
You think I rip them apart? Yeah, I think I'll probably agree with that.
Yeah, because we got the options to rotate the squad. I mean,
you got the options to rotate. You need to cash in before you play us, don't you?
Yeah. But that's it. Moving swiftly on to the big one.
Yet again, just like how this podcast all started. Arsenal against Man United.
Arsenal versus Man United, 5:30 p.m. kickoff, Saturday, 30th of June. Talk to me. What is your prediction lineup?
I think it's my lineup and prediction to your line prediction, so I'll have to mirror off each other, won't we? I think, Odegaard in it.
Are you going to put Odegaard in there?
Well, let me think. I don't know, because like I said, Odegaard gives us the option to rotate. He gives us the luxury to rotate as a number 10, I think we should
look at the bench to start off with.
Yeah, I think he might be, but let's see. I think Odegaard did, like Fabrizio said, he did come in for game time. That was one of the main things that attracted him, and Arteta did tell him that personally.
I do think United game is a bit 1 week too soon for him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe, but I'd love Odegaard to just come on against you guys and just score his first goal for Arsenal. I would just love that. But Leno in goal, it's the same in it really. Gabriel or David Luiz. I think Gabriel will pick it up, and I'll be back. Like I said, at Old Trafford, he was fantastic. He's probably one of the best players on the pitch, isn't he? Gabriel and Partey.
I do remember
but then to have to be of course you do. Those two have to be the first on the team sheet, really. Like basis of that, I know Gabriel has a performance in the FA Cup, but I think he'll learn from that. He's still young. He's got a lot to learn from. I think he'll be back for that game. I think David Luiz is too much of a risk. He's a physical player. You got Cavani up there, who I don't know if you think you'll start him, but if he does, maybe that depends, isn't it? If Cavani plays, maybe David Luiz will suit it more. But if someone like Martial plays, I think Gabriel will suit it more. Depends, isn't it? Who's your number 9 in that match? But I think me personally, I'll go Gabriel and Holding. I'll say Holding on the basis that Arteta seems to love him, and whenever he's come on, he's been all right. Whenever he's played, he's been all right. I think it's Bellerin or Cedric. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens on the Southampton game. Usually we go for Bellerin. I think it's one of them two. I don't know who, but maybe Bellerin. I think that, like I said, depends on that Southampton game. Left back has to be Kieran Tierney. I hope he doesn't pick up anything, any kind of knock or anything, because he's going to be crucial for that game. Recently he's been absolutely sublime. He should play that man. I think it'll be Partey and El Neni. They were in Old Trafford. They're fantastic. So it's hard to say what he'll go with. But on the opposite side of things, El Neni has been poor recently in the other matches. So. It remains to be seen about that. Whether you go Partey, Xhaka, Ceballos, El Neni. Maybe you might go Partey and El Neni. Maybe you might set up 3.
I do expect Partey and El Neni.
Partey,
they had a fantastic game.
I wouldn't be surprised just on the basis of that Old Trafford clash back in November.
Yeah.
And another thing, I know I've named 2 centre backs, but he might just go up with 3 at the back because he worked against United Old Trafford, didn't he? So it might have been someone like Luiz, Holding, and Gabriel, maybe. Yeah. And then Tierney on the left. But let's see, that midfield pairing probably Partey and then you're Partey and Xhaka. I don't know about Ceballos if he's going to come in or not. Who, by the way, Ceballos, he did actually help Odegaard to convince him to come because he's on loan from Real Madrid as well, isn't it? Some mad props to him. He's agent Ceballos, whether he plays or not. Maybe it'll be Partey and El Neni just on the basis of that Old Trafford game that we won. Yeah. I think Aubameyang will hopefully be back for that. Aubameyang, Smith Rowe and Saka maybe, or Martinelli. I think Odegaard might be too soon for him, but I think he'll definitely be on the bench for that game at the very least. But yeah, I think we have to play our very best. I think it's going to be up to Arteta and his coaching team to decide what's the best front line to go for, because we've got a couple of options. We've got Aubameyang, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, which we will have, and we've got Lacazette, Martinelli, Saka. So he'll have to pick and choose which one to pick. But yeah, I think it's up to Arteta. I think me personally, I'll go with Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Saka maybe. Yeah,
Fair.
that's me. That's
Very
a team.
strong.
Yeah, very strong team. I think maybe Odegaard, like you said.
So you're going for 5 at the back.
Probably,
Three
yeah. But
yeah.
another thing with Arteta, when he plays Tierney, he actually plays him a left centre back, which I don't particularly agree with. I think he's better as a left back when he plays him in a back three. So maybe he might do that and then shift Saka onto the left, which allows Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Smith Rowe or Odegaard to play on the front and on the attacking side of things, or Martinelli. So let's see what he does. It's hard to predict this one, but I think it's based on who performs in the Southampton game in it as well. If we do perform, that is. I think prediction.
Wait. Before you go to the score prediction, we'll come back after my lineup. Then we both.
You do your lineup and then we go.
Then we could do both to the score prediction to end there, and that'll be great.
Go ahead.
For me, obviously, we gotta get a bit of revenge. What happened? I think. I think I'm going into the game very comfortable. Having played Liverpool twice
on the basis of form,
and the base of form and our away form as well. We haven't lost a game in. I can't remember last time we lost a game in away. And also the fact that the plethora of our squad size, the huge squad size that we have, I think we're able to have the luxury of resting players like Pogba, etc., potentially over the weekday against Sheffield United and bringing them in. So even today against Liverpool, we had Martial on the bench, we had Bruno Fernandes on the bench. So those kind of things, and Tellez also, who's top left back. So those kind of things, I think, and De Gea as well, isn't it? So that kind of puts me in a lot more confidence. I think we're going to go for a 4-2-3-1 formation. I do expect Fred and McTominay to be in the middle.
That's the thing. Didn't you play that at Old Trafford? I think you played.
So in the beginning, we played Fred and McTominay, and I think at that time the tactics was not right because it was still a new thing for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Fred and McTominay in the midfield. But now over the season, they've grown into it. You can see against the big fixtures, those two play because they provide the legs and cover for the defense. And Pogba kind of shifting more into that left wing back tucked in position now. With Bruno Fernandes in number 10, and obviously on the right side we have normally Rashford or Martial or vice versa. For me, I expect not Cavani. I do expect Martial to be up front, and my front four, you can say, is going to be Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, and Marcus Rashford.
Not Cavani, interestingly.
No Cavani for me. I think
he said you're number 9, though, isn't he? I think
but I think with Arsenal, I think on the air, I don't know. You guys have told
different. Like I said before, it depends what kind of formation. If you play Luis or Gabriel,
it's hard to predict. Like I wouldn't mind Cavani or Martial, but I think with Martial, he offers the bit of pace, a bit of counter, a bit of dribbling technique that is probably going to be needed to unlock the Arsenal defense rather than just going straight at them. I think on the defense side, again, Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the wing backs, or full backs, whatever you want to call it. I fully expect David De Gea to come back as well. Maguire is the standard centre back. To one that would partner him, I reckon it's going to be Eric Bailly, simply because of the pace you guys have up front. So I think obviously the other centre back is Lindelof. I think if Aubameyang makes a run at him, that's it. We're gone.
Martinelli's pace is.
So I do expect Eric Bailly to be, and I remember a few years ago, Eric Bailly had a good game at Old Trafford with Aubameyang before he went off for a long injury as well. I believe that day we ended 0-0 or something like that when Fellaini pulled Guendouzi's hair.
Oh, I remember the 18-19 season.
I was in the stadium at that time.
You went. I remember.
I do remember Bailly had a very good game.
Was that when Mickey scored the last-minute equaliser? I think.
Something like that. One of those.
Something like that.
Yeah. But I think that's what we're going to go for. I do expect a 4-2-3-1, but a lot of energy in the midfield because the last time you guys played against Scott and Fred is when they were new in that position, new in their roles and tactics, and we were lost. But now over the course of the season, our away form is fantastic. I think we're the only team unbeaten away in the top 5 European.
I was going to say, like, you're doing really well away from home, and we've been iffy at home. We've been better away from home, but I think at the Emirates, especially when we were on that horrible run before Christmas, we was really poor, so it's hard to say.
So I mean, it all depends because you guys have an extra day rest.
You do.
You guys play on a Tuesday, we play on a Wednesday. But thankfully, our Wednesday game is much easier than the Tuesday game that you guys have.
Thanks.
So I do expect the Wednesday game to be the key, much like what you mentioned. Like, if in Wednesday we can rest a lot of players and still get a result, then we're going to see my predicted lineup that I mentioned, which is the best team that I can play right now. If if things go southward on Wednesday and we play a strong team like Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, everyone, then on Saturday I do expect a couple of changes. In relation to our new signing, Diallo, he is expected, as I predicted, he's going to be, I think, part of the match day squad in Wednesday. I did mention that I think last week as well. And I do expect him to be in the match day squad this Wednesday. I don't expect him to start. Him being on the bench, getting some experience, or coming on the last 10-15 minutes. If he is in the match day squad, and if he does get a 10-15 minutes run out, then I fully expect him to make some sort of appearance against Arsenal on that Saturday.
Yeah, I just want to say finally, just want to say that he's actually very crucial, and it's going to be very interesting as well that Arteta gets the lineup and the formation right, because if 4-4 at the back has actually worked recently for us and playing a number 10. If you've got two number 10s now, we'll have Smith and Odegaard, but as well.
You guys have two number 10, but I think I have a feeling that Arsenal will play 5 at the back. The reason being is because we got two number 10s playing on the field. We got Pogba and Bruno Fernandes.
Well, Pogba's at 8, isn't he? You don't think?
But you know the recent formation that we've been playing him.
Yeah, you're playing.
He starts off on the left or whatever, but he drifts inside with Bruno Fernandes, makes it two number 10s, and that's why he show bombs forward.
Stuff, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's so, working for him.
Yeah, so I reckon, my opinion is that I think if Pogba and Bruno Fernandes are expected to play, there's no doubt about it, and for that reason, I think Arteta might go 5 at the back.
Maybe I agree with you.
Maybe something of the 5-3-2 style or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, similar to what with 3-4-3 or when we got in possession, we'll get the wing backs going forward and whatnot. And go back when you're out of position. That's what we did against you guys at Old Trafford, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. I think that will be key. I think Tierney plays on the left back position, which I expect him to play as almost a winger going forward.
If you're a wing back, like I said, either that.
So Aaron Wan-Bissaka there will be absolutely crucial for us, along with any other right winger we're expected to play there. I think, For me, I think Paul Pogba being on the right side of the right wing that day is a wrong move, because I think Marcus Rashford would be better because of his work rate to track back, whereas Paul Pogba doesn't track back as much as Marcus Rashford does. And if Tierney runs away from, say, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and he can get a free cross in, Bailly is suspect in the air. So to have Marcus Rashford on that side to help Aaron Wan-Bissaka track back Tierney, I think that will be key as well, because Tierney is your man.
That's a key battle, an individual battle, you can say.
So a bit of a tactical analysis from me there.
Yeah, it's going to be a match of the young tacticians, isn't it? Ole and Arteta.
Yes.
Yeah, and obviously
played against each other, now managing against
between us. Podcast house is going to be big as well. I think next episode is going to be fiery. Whoever wins or whatever happens, it's going to be a day after.
Talking about winning, score predictions. Last bit of the podcast.
Oh yeah. Last part. Okay, cool.
You want to go first? Should I go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Since you're playing home, you go first.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said before, home we've been, it's inconsistent to say the least. We're similar to you in it, but it's hard to be. I feel like I said before, we will draw or lose to Southampton, and then we'll win against you guys. I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal. I'm gonna confidently say. Almost reluctantly, because
the funny thing is that I was gonna say 2-1 to United.
Go for it. We can see who's right.
I'm actually gonna go 2-1. I mean, finish up your thing, then I'll talk about my.
Yeah, thing. I think we can edge it, because we always turn up in these kind of games. It'll be big game. Arteta is a big game manager, but so is Ole in a way. So that's not saying.
Yeah.
I think either a draw, but I think my prediction is going to be 2-1. So I think we can outwit you guys, and maybe Odegaard can come and have some minutes if he doesn't start and make an impact.
Oh wow!
But 2-1 Arsenal.
All right then. For me, we got the best away record, not in the Premier League, but it's certainly in Europe. In terms of not being, not losing. As I mentioned before, the squad depth we have is really good, and we're on form, and we just beaten the champions, and we drew against them as well. And we got a fairly easy tie on Wednesday to get a few more goals in us, to get the confidence running, rest a few players. I was going to go for a 3-1 win, but the thing with Arsenal
3-1, wow.
In recent years, there hasn't been many big scorelines. It was a quite tight affair in a lot of it's either 1-1 or 1-0 or
I think we're evenly matched teams on paper. Obviously in the table is different.
I think I'm gonna go for a 2-1 United. I do feel that we are gonna concede because I don't have faith in Eric Bailly. He's a bit rash
I actually rate him. I think he's a decent defender, but yeah, I see where you're coming from.
His recovery pace and everything is fantastic, but I think he's a bit rash going into his tackles. I do feel like there will be a penalty at some point in the game. I just have a feeling. And I think I'm going to go for 2-1 United, solely because the confidence that we're in, the great run of form, especially away from home, and the fact that it's Arsenal, and the fact that we've lost against you guys 1-0 at home, and the fact that it's a bit of a revenge sort of trip, and the fact that wedged in
opportunity for revenge,
and the fact that wedged in between Arsenal versus Manchester United is Liverpool playing loads of tough teams, so some of them's got to lose points.
That's a big incentive for you guys.
Like Spurs or Liverpool coming up, Spurs and Man City coming up. Liverpool and Man City, Liverpool and Leicester. They're all in the top 5 or 6, right? So United will go in there thinking that this is our tough challenge against Arsenal. These teams have to play tough teams because league form and whatnot, and they will lose points. Which means that if we can continue to get some points and kind of go away from as far away as from Liverpool as possible, that'll be an advantage. Because as much as I like City, I feel that the injury to Aguero is Kevin De Bruyne.
Weeks. I forgot about that. 6-week injury. I know that they've been in really good form. Pep's really turned it around. I remember he said early in the season he's not having a good time. But
what I was going to talk about is Kevin De Bruyne is out for 6 weeks for City. Van Dijk is out for God knows how many months for Liverpool. And for Leicester, you got Vardy, who's having a surgery, who'll probably be out for 2-3 weeks now. So the teams around us, the Leicester, Man City and Liverpool, have lost their key players, which means
this is your opportunity.
This is the next 3 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, whatever, is an absolute must, and we must go into the Arsenal game thinking that we can win, and I'm sure we can win 2-1. That's it.
That's your incentive, but for us, we need to get like I said before, we need to get back minimum top 6, and if we win that, that's another milestone. Like, we did beat Chelsea, don't forget, the Emirates. I know I said our home form is inconsistent, but we can turn up in this game. We shot against Chelsea. We're very poor that day. We need that to recover our season, and if we win that, we'll be right back up in there. And obviously, the end goal is to get back in the Champions League. So that'll be a big step in that direction for us. So big incentives for both of us, massive.
Yeah, should be interesting in episode 12. And that pretty much wraps up for me. Anything else you want to add at the end before we wrap up?
Welcome Martin Ødegaard, welcome Matt Ryan, and hopefully they can make a big impact for us. That's it. And best of luck. May the best man win next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yes. Thank you, Danny, for the show.
All right, thank you, Robin.
Episode 11. Take care, mate. Cool.
Okay, take care, mate. Bye.
Make sure you stream the podcast on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts and Anchor, and all the major podcasting and music platforms will be available there, as well as Robin's own YouTube channel, Draco Evolve, which releases every Monday at 8 p.m. and the podcast episode on the main platforms releases on the Sunday night into the Monday morning. So make sure you stream it on there, guys. Thank you for listening.